Hi everyone and welcome to the Lure Fishing Project. This is the monthly report for July and as always, pretty excited about it. There is a lot of stuff going on. It's been a great month for June. We've got a lot to share. But with me, I have Brett Geddes. Welcome to the show, mate.
Mate, winter's big in Gippy. It always has been and hopefully always will be. So I've got lots to share and talk about. And the Lure Fishing Project, mate, this is Mark 2, I think, is... Yeah, so we're getting on with the job and I'm excited to say that now I can talk a lot more about Flathead and I can talk about squid and all sorts of stuff. Not that I didn't before, but looking forward to that part, Deethy. So
yeah, mate. Look, there's a lot to get through. We've got obviously a Lure Fishing Project update. Got a little bit about one of our guests that was on. You're going to have a little bit of a talk about Nev and Nev's fishing.
Definitely. Yeah, I had catch up with Nev.
Yep. Run through the Hobie comp that I did. A couple of community things that happened within the collective. An update on the boat. A different comp I'm going to fish at the back end of the year and, of course, around the grounds. Anyway, what we might do is roll the intros and then we'll have a talk about that and see how we go. All right, here it is.
Welcome to the Lure Fishing Project, where Australia's best lure anglers share their tips and stories to help you catch more fish and have more fun on the water. Here's your host, Andrew D.
All right, so there we have it, the new Lure Fishing Project intro by none other than ET himself. How good was that?
Oh, what about that? How the recording, the intro and the outro, and to get Morgo and ET on the job there. How did you wrangle that? Have you had to cough up some big bucks for that, mate?
Well, to be fair, I actually rang both of them and had a chat with them and they were both happy enough to do it, which made me feel pretty good. I've got to be honest. Like, that was really, really nice of those guys to do that. And, it was very cool. And I'm really happy with the way they turned out.
That was good. And I bet you it took only one take each, for sure.
Well, to be fair, they gave me multiple takes.
Oh.
So they gave me a few different options, which was very cool.
Wow, that's pretty... Oh, you didn't tell me about that. That's good.
No, it was a secret.
That's a grouse thing. We love secrets.
So, as with regards to the Lure Fishing Project, it's been received quite well. I think we've got next... I would say a couple of months, we're going to have a couple of interviews a week. I think I've said this before. And my idea would be that I'm going to release them on Tuesdays as always. That's our main day. But then I think I'm going to try and be consistent with Fridays so that everyone can get a feel. You know, obviously if one doesn't come out, it's because on the Friday, it's just because it's not happening. But yeah, that's the plan, as well as I think we're going to have a Hobie week. I've got 5 in the bank, and I think we're going to do a whole week of Hobies.
Go Hobie. Yes, very good.
And some incredible stories in there, including the last one that I just recorded today with Simon Morley. So that was very, very good.
Oh, yeah, because big winner. Yeah, good on him.
Yeah, so actually if I do that Hobie week, his will be the last interview of the week. So
and he's a hurricane man, so go Mr. Morley.
Go the Sprat.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. I did want to mention the show that I put out on Cisco on Tuesday, just last week. Cisco's story, which included a bit of bass and BFS, well, I thought was a very cool story. And the stitching. Stitching is something I'd never heard of. Have you heard of that before in terms of fishing?
That was a lot of the stuff that Cisco talked about was quite revealing. It was a great interview too, Deethy. Very in depth and broad range, not just all about fishing, and a real tick to the both of you actually to have got through that one. I really enjoyed listening to that, and those angler interviews they look like they're going to be a big hit.
Yeah,
great highlight.
Yeah, I hope so. There was a few things in that interview that I'd not heard of, but the stitching, I want to explain it because I've got a bait caster right here. Who knew?
Who knew? Oh, you got this ready. Good man.
Well, I kind of got it ready because I recorded another interview. You can see the dust on this with one Joel Crosby.
Oh, interesting.
So this is a rod that is about 5 or 6 years old, and it's never been wet. I obviously got excited one day. Okay, so with the stitching, the idea is, from what I can understand, they would wrap it around their fingers, something like that, and keep collecting the line.
Yeah.
And then as they're doing it, they would wind it up.
Ah, yeah. See, in fly fishing, that's called like a figure 8 retrieve.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
So basically, they're just collecting it, something like that.
That's it.
So,
yep.
So yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'd never ever heard it before.
No.
So I like that. Good on Cisco.
Cisco was a great listen. He's a flamboyant and like he's talkative. He's a bit like Morgo. Plug in and he's an interviewer's dream come true, Deethy. You don't have to talk much.
Yeah.
And that's an asset. Good on you, mate.
No, that was an absolute asset. I liked at the end when he told the last story he told me about I think it was the Bream in Tassie that he told me about. That was a cool story. A little bit of heartbreak. So
it was too. Yeah.
Maybe it's just me, maybe a bit sadistic. I kind of like it when people lose fish every now and then.
Yeah, well, what happens to us, it's sort of comforting that others go through that grief. Yeah.
100%. All right, mate, we're going to move straight into Mr. Brett Geddes and what's been going on with you for the month. Now, I'll lead you into it because, look, I'm keen to see what's going on with Nev.
Oh, okay. So what's going on there is that I reached out to Nev a little while back, say 6 weeks ago, and said, mate, we're due for a catch-up and let's have a chat. And he didn't get back to me, which is unlike him, but I found out since he's been super busy, he's been releasing stuff on top of stuff and editing, and like he said to me, finally said, Brett, I forgot to get back to you. It's my bad, he said. In a text message, he said, I've been locked in my room for a month. And I'm thinking, oh, what is crook? What's happened? No, he was editing all this stuff he's doing. He's got 2 channels now. He's got the Nev's Fishing, but he's got, I think he calls it Nev Hayes.
Nev Hayes, yeah.
Yeah. So I thought, well, that's cool, mate. Let's have a chat. So I was on the water and we caught up finally and had a long chat. But he said to me at one point, because I'd mentioned to him that you were doing the rebrand on into the lure fishing project, and I said, and a lot of that was driven by you, Nev, who mentioned that you guys have got to step up a bit. And Deethy's got to step up. He's got to turn it into something bigger. I said, and then I said, well, I told him that. And he took it on board, and look what's happened. So you're to blame, Nev. And then, anyway, so we talked about stuff and got chatting, and I said, we're going to get you on the show. We want you as a guest. And he said, yeah, cool, no worries, let's do that. So I was pretty happy with that. But then I had to push him. He doesn't volunteer a lot of stuff. I've got to push him a little bit. I said, so what's been happening? You've been locked away for a month and how many subscribers have you got now? And he says, oh, well, I think it's 160-something thousand. And it's, what? Really? And I said, oh, okay. Well, that's going good for you. And he said, at one point, and he lied. Hey, Nev tells lies. How's this? He said to me, who knew? Right. Couldn't believe it. First time ever. He said, oh, one of the YouTube shows had 1.6 million with an M.
Yeah.
Not B, but M. It could turn into billions. I said, 1.6 million? Are you for... What? So just 2 days ago, I looked it up and he lied. It's actually 1.8 million now. Well, we spoke probably 2 weeks ago, so he probably did tell the truth, to be honest.
Yeah, but we don't say that.
No, I want him to be a liar, like me.
Yeah. That's it.
Deethy, what's going on with that? I think about 1.8 million people listening to... I can't get my head around that stuff. So, and even Nev can't get his head. His response to that was, yeah, Brett, I don't get it. I don't understand. He says, I don't know how I can do what I'm doing. And I mean, I just get to go fishing. So how good's that?
But if you go and watch Nev's channels, mate, he puts a lot of effort in. Like, he's always running 3 cameras, which is a pain. This is not awesome to do. He runs the drone, he does all that stuff, and then goes home. And like you said, he's locked himself away for a month. He hasn't really fished and done the editing. Like, that's hard yards, you know. He hasn't got a production team behind him. So I'm 100% just such a lot of respect for the guy for doing that. And like a lot of people in his position, he's probably worked it all out. He hasn't probably had, I don't know what mentors he has or hasn't had, but he's worked it out. I think that's impressive.
I'm glad you brought that up, Deethy, because I mentioned how long it's taken you at times to edit just something like the monthly report, and it's taken hours and hours. So when I mentioned that to Nev, he said, one of my videos, he said it might go for, an hour or 40 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever. He said that can take 1 week.
Yes. Yep.
To edit. And I went, too hard, can't understand. It's a week without fishing. That's not, it does not compute. And so, he said, well, this is the thing. I've got where I am. And he doesn't outsource much at all, if anything, to AI, which he could do. But he said it often comes back and he's got to play with it anyway. If he were to do it, he's come to grips with that already. So, that's a great point you've brought up, is hats off to him, because this is something, it's an undertaking that I don't think many of us could really embrace. That's a lot of work. And I'm sure Steve Starling's doing the same sort of stuff.
I'd imagine so. Yeah, I think it's worth mentioning because, 1.6, 1.8 million views on anything, unless you get lucky, I think it's a lot of work, and a lot of respect to him for that. One thing I did like, something that made me really happy, Brett, is he put a video out the other day and he's in a new kayak.
I watched it. It's magic. The Hobie. GD pumped the Hobies up. Woo!
Yeah, the Hobie Outback. How good is that? And it's definitely, I love my Outback. I love my older style Outback, but the new one's so well laid out. I'm really glad to see him sort of upgrade into that. I think it's a good move.
Yeah, I've got the latest Outback too. So, we've got that in common now. And it's going to be a lot more stable for him. He won't need those pontoons out the side. He had his little stabiliser jobbies on the other kayak. So he's moved up in the world and he's very grateful. I know he loves them, the Hobie. Or he's got a tandem one as well.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Fantastic, yeah.
All right, what's been going on in the fishing world of Brett Getty for the last month? Because, mate, there's been photos and stories and there's been stuff going on.
And there's been phone calls and you keep ringing and I just keep catching. And although I reckon today you rang and I didn't catch a fish today, so that little hoodoo might be starting to creep in, Deethy. I don't know.
Don't even say that.
I think there's 2 phone calls now where I haven't caught a fish.
Oh, Brett, come on.
Oh, but in all fairness, today, because I hadn't heard from you for a couple of days, and I was thinking, how's me buddy going? I didn't fish. I was intently listening. So that's a change, because normally I'm like, all right, what do you want to talk about? Yeah, wait a minute, let me get my phone set up, and I usually chuck it in the pocket of my shirt, or I mount it so I can keep talking and
casting.
Anyway, I haven't got the buds or anything going and all that. So anyway, I just keep fishing. But today I was just listening. Yeah. Let me talk about the month. The highlights are that winter in Gippsland it's chaotic. It's and I talk about numbers with people, and it's just not me. There's a couple of mates that fish with me a fair bit, and they're all getting, and they're both getting same sort of numbers as me. And it's a lot to do with the perch, but also the breaming. The weather's been really good. We haven't had any floods or big rain events, so that's kept the whole system quite salty. And I'm talking about from Holland's Landing up into Lake Wellington and Latrobe and all those western waters that are close to home to me. And, some of the highlights over the last month, there was 2 days where Rick and myself, we caught 204 perch and 14 bream. And I'll qualify it too in saying that they're fairly long days. There's at least 6 to 7 hour days.
Right.
And we go hard. We don't sort of stop and pull over and have lunch and all that sort of stuff. We're fairly well at it.
Mm.
And it's more of a testament to how many fish are in the system. Like Lake Wellington's huge, and I know I've often talked about this. It's 10 bend rivers and all the rest, but we just keep discovering new country and look for new spots to fish, and the fish just keep turning up. So we're only as good as what the fishing is, and those wonderful perch have just... it's a perfect storm for me, Deethy, because I'm alive at a time when there's been a boom in the local population, and here I am to receive them. Thank you, God.
Exactly. Well, mate, it's funny. While you were talking there, I was looking at you, and I can see you've been out in the sunbait because I reckon you got panda eyes.
I know. I've been slack. I've been wearing the sunnies, but I haven't been putting the sunscreen on because I'm thinking it's winter. But so that shows you just how much time I do put out there in the water. I mean, I'm lucky with no brains. I just go day after day. Today is day number 101 that I've fished for this year so far.
Wow, you're trying to beat Steve Morgan. I think with 101, we're just like we're almost the halfway point of the year.
That's what I mean.
You're going to get him.
And I'm 1,590 perch so far. That's all.
Wow.
This year, and I've got 6 months to go.
That's insane. All right, mate, we've got to back the truck up because we need to teach some people how to catch some of these fish. What's going on in terms of lures and retrieves and stuff down there? How have you been getting them?
Yeah, great question, because here's what's happened is because we've had so many fish, myself, Rick and Havo, and we're now starting to cycle, and I'm doing more of it than... Rick's doing a bit too. Havo will stick to a couple of soft plastics, and it's slow retrieve, soft plastics, into the snags, drift down slow, and moving a lot. Like you're not sitting in one spot. And for your first cast, your best cast. So we might do 1 or 2 casts into the lake edge or the riverbank, whatever, and no touch, no whack, just move on. And that's a big key to it. Bream as well. I'm not just talking about perch here. But what sort of lures? That's a funny one because I've had the collective challenge that we've got now with blades, and so I've been playing my part and throwing them on somewhat. I've probably haven't sat with them only, but I've been using the old Bushy's old stiffy devilfish, if anyone remembers that. The 5 gram and 8 gram vibes.
Wow.
They were you remember those, Deethy, with the polycarbonate back ends on them with the... Yeah, a
bit of lead sort of clamped on the front of them.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
And they were a big thing for a while. They were part of the scene. But I reckon that's about a dozen years ago where they sort of fell out of favour because blades just went, well, silly. They went ballistic. So
yeah.
As in metal blades.
That's right.
But back then, we did use them a little, and I had other mates using them more. So I dragged one of them out. Well, I dragged 3 of them out, and I thought I'm going to have a go, and I want to get one and do my part for the collective. So I've been using them in the deep water, not so much the shallows. So that's when you asked me what lures. That's one that I played with.
How did they go? How'd you go catching fish on them? Because they've been off the market for a while, but Bushy developed them, so they're probably pretty good.
Oh, they're very good, and especially in flowing faster. Like I used them once down at Hollands as well, where there was quite a deep flow, and I wanted something heavy to get right down.
Yeah.
But Bream whack 'em, and I got a Bream 43 too on it, by the way. So that was only last week. So do they still work? Bloody oath they do. And I'm sure if I persevered with it. And to be fair, because I was fishing a bit of rocky and snaggy bottom, I put 2 double hooks on it. I took the 2 trebles off, which I often do, just to make it snag proof in that faster flowing and deep water.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And-
but yeah, I got quite a few responses on it. Like missed a few hookups, and I can see if I persevere with it, it'd work all right.
Yeah, right.
But once I caught a few fish and ticked that box for the collective, I sort of moved on a tad.
Yeah.
And so, well, that'll do that. But I've also been doing things like using, the Sprat 65. Whew.
Really? That's the paddle one.
Yeah, the little 65. It doesn't get talked about much. New South Wales is all about the Sprat 75, and I hardly ever tie them on.
Oh, come on.
I know, I should. I just don't get it. I've got the 85 and the 65 has been a real thing in the tomahawk colour.
Right.
Jeez, I've caught a lot of perch on that.
Yeah, right. And
Amazing.
why do you think? What do you think is good about that lure?
Because I reckon it represents the fish, the bait fish that they're feeding upon.
Okay.
Same size, smallish.
Yeah.
But it's got that tight little wriggle. It's got I've tried a few different 65 patterns, not just the tomahawk, but it's a me confidence thing. On an Arc Genesis jig head, what would it be? Not an 8th, I think it's a 12th. It was a 12th I've been using, yeah. So that's been a big thing. But to be fair, I've also tried quite a lot of other lures, like the Bevy Shad hard bodies. I've tried even some old lures from way back. But yeah, no, I've enjoyed using a whole heap of different stuff. So
yeah, okay. I do want to go back to the Sprat 65. So you had that on a sort of a 1/8 jig head, you said?
Yeah, or a 12th.
Or a 12.
Yep.
And so the idea is that's going. Are you fishing that on a slack line, or are you letting it a little bit taut so that it kind of pendulums down, or how's that look?
Yeah, a little bit of both. It's if I'm tied in on the structure, I'll sort of walk it down through the snags and keep the tight line.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'm fishing about 2 or 3 metres off from the bank, away from structure. So I throw it out, and I even pull a little bit of slack line off me. You know when you cast and you can pull a little bit more slack before you close your bail arm, so it goes down like vertical.
Yeah, you can watch it on the water top, watch the line peel
Correct.
off.
Because if you close your bail arm when it hits the water, it's going to pendulum down back towards you.
That's right.
But if you give it and feed it more line, it'll go directly down, and that's what I want. I want that direct drop.
Yeah.
And on the sounder, I can see that a lot of these bream and perch are sitting that 2 metres just off the edge. And say we're fishing 8, 9, 10 foot of water, they're sitting in between 6 and 8 foot. They're not quite hugging the bottom, they're not on the top, but they're in that mid-water range. So quite often they're grabbing them on the drop, even 12th.
Yeah.
They'll grab that, or even a 1/6. I've been going deeper water, and they'll grab that on the drop. Sometimes they're grabbing it as soon as it hits the water.
Wow. Okay.
It's interesting, and I want to just quickly expand on something you mentioned to me some time ago with the live scoping with forward-facing sonar. You were in 30 foot of water. I remember you told me this, and you threw, I think it was a baby vibe, hit the water.
Yep.
And you could see those bream that were on the bottom look up straight away.
They react. Yeah.
Like they knew it happened.
They knew it was there.
They knew it was there. So Rick was with me one day, and he was off in his boat with the forward-facing sonar going, and he came back with that same story without hearing what you've told me.
Yeah, okay.
Right? This is the grouse bit. He said, "Oh, Brett, you wouldn't believe it, you know. All these perch and bream that are under us, I'm throwing the lure. I can see me lure hit the water, but straight away I can see a signal that goes down to the bottom of the water."
Mm-hmm.
He can register whatever that's done, whether it's a sound wave or noise. He said, "I can see a faint line that goes down to the water, and a few fish will rise up in 8, 10, 12, 14 foot of water."
Yeah.
And so have you perceived that imaginary line that goes down to them?
I've only seen the lure do that. You can watch that lure go down. So whether that's what he was trying to say or not, I'm not sure. But definitely
he physically could see it on the screen, whether it was put it. But, I mean, I can see that on my sounder sometimes when a lure goes down.
Yeah.
On my side scan, I can see where...
You can see it's trailed down.
Yeah, I can see the line probably,
Yeah.
more so. Anyway, so that was of interest, and that makes you think too, because you start now reassessing your whole approach to targeting fish deep.
Mm-hmm.
If they can see it, like you're saying, 30 foot of water, I mean, that's 10 metres. It's crazy.
It is. It's crazy.
It's crazy, but it's wonderful. It's something we have to think about further. And for Rick to find this out and see it and watch it, and a lot of it was negative, like they weren't coming up to eat the lure.
Yeah.
They'd come up and look, and they'd all shy away, and 2 or 3 go that way, and they're gone.
Yeah.
But every now and again, 3 or 4 would rise up, and then one would all of a sudden go sideways, and he goes, "Oh, I wonder where he's gone."
Yeah, he's got it. He's
got it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. The other thing that I was going to say is when you were talking about dropping the line on the water, and this is what I thought you were going to say when you mentioned forward facing. If you pendulum versus letting some slack out, so you let the slack out, that lure drops, I reckon, 3 times as fast.
Oh, good one.
Pendulum drop. So if you want to slow your drop, keep a taut line, it'll pendulum a little bit, but it'll slow it. But if you want to go faster, just feed that slack out onto the top of the water, and you can watch it. You can still see, especially if you're in a boat. And if there's a tick, you'll see the line take off, or you'll see the line stop when you go, that shouldn't have stopped.
Yeah, good point. Oh, I hadn't thought of that, detail. You're dead right about that. Of course it's going to go quicker. There's no resistance.
Much quicker.
Yeah, and just whether you can deem that as a natural drop or whatever, I don't know. But it certainly does. All I want, where I've cast, I want that lure on the bottom under the casting point.
Yes.
Where it hit. I don't want it halfway back to the kayak. You know, yeah, so that's... I mean, sometimes I can see that they're mid-water and I'll orchestrate the lure and the cast to do that and pendulum it back, but generally, actually, hardly ever.
Yeah.
And if I'm right at the back of snags too, I want it to drop straight down.
Yeah.
Initially, maybe not the full length of the rod hard up on the bank, but yeah, that's an interesting point, and so important.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've also heard Leon talk about penduluming the lure through the school. So if he's trying to get that to a certain depth by keeping the line a little bit tight, it'll go down through slower and potentially fish midwater fish a little bit more easily.
Yeah, well, you see, you're targeting fish there. That's a different scenario, isn't it?
Yes.
You can see them, yeah. It's an important thing, but that's pretty much what I've been doing. And as I say, I've had days of 60 and 50 fish, and I think myself and Rick, we've done that twice now. There was a day where we both got 59 perch exactly each. Everyone will say, "Why didn't you go for 60? Well, we tried. We couldn't do it. I said, "I'm going home, mate. I need a can of beer. I'm buggered."
That's it. I need to have a nap.
Mate, I'm worn out. And I think that was on the 18th of June. I remember jotting this down in the fishing diary, because that's our personal best between us, the two of us at it. That's 120 fish plus, because we got Bream as well. So it's over 120 fish. And that's a big day in anyone's books. And there's a lot of misses, pulling out, drop fish, couple of shreds, not many, because we're fishing pretty heavy. He's fishing 8 kilo too. Yeah. Taught him well.
Oh, wow.
Taught him well.
Wow.
Yeah. And so we don't bust many, but there's the odd bass that we wrangle with and we don't get them back sometimes. So there's a little of that. And we get the odd flathead. I'm catching, one day, I'll have to balance this out. One day I went out and I've... back in the Latrobe, and I end up with 12 carp and 1 eel for the whole day.
Yeah, wow.
So, here's all my glory. There's 60 fish here and this and that. Yeah, what about when I'm catching 12 carp? Do you know that at 5 kgs, probably 4 kg average and up to 6, there's no change out of like 2 hours just getting those bastards in and getting them underhooked. Got it. Everyone sort of says, at least carp are fun. They're big, heavy, strong fish. No, that's not me.
That's because you want bream and bass and perch and stuff.
Mate, I'm not in the fight. That all I want is me lure back.
I just want the lure back. Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you took some beginners down there and they caught a couple of big carp, I think that's pretty fun. But I get it. Hear where you come from.
I get it, and it is true to say that they do fight bloody hard. And if only they tasted like whiting, and I wouldn't be complaining not one bit, because at those weights, it's. But anyway, it's 12 carp 12 less that are out of the system because I dispatch of them humanely, and the eel was no joke. It was just under a metre, I reckon. I put it up against the sort of big guy. You can't net them because I got a stupid little net, and they just curl out of that, and they're slimy, and then you try and pull them up in the kayak, and they just wriggle, and there's slime all on the line. Oh,
yuck!
Oh, it takes some doing. So, do you reckon I was happy to come home that day?
Oh, you should have eaten it.
Well, I have done it. I've smoked them.
Yeah, you should have eaten it.
Well, I've done. They're absolutely beautiful smoked. They've got that oily flesh, and I don't know if they're as good as smoked salmon, but they're a real thing. Like smoked eels. If there'd be a percentage of people listening to this saying, "Oh yeah, no, that bloke's right. Smoked eel is a thing."
Yeah.
So I have done that, but I'm a little bit over that for now.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, mate, it sounds like you've had another pretty good month, and I think you'd had a bit of a run of rubbish weather, and I think this month hasn't been too bad from what I can tell.
Oh yeah, no, it's been incredibly warm for this time of year. Like 18 degrees in June is just wow country.
It's lovely.
Deethy, it's been an absolute gold, and it's only the last probably week where we've been. Today was max 14, 15 degrees today. Still beautiful out in the water, sunny. Yeah, because look, panda eyes.
Yeah, that's right. I can see that. I spotted it.
So it's been unbelievable. And El Nino predicted for the next 6 months-ish. Now, for farmers on the land, that's horrific and it's sad, but as an angler, oh boy, when this happens, what it means to me is that there is so much saltwater ingress into the whole Gippsland Lakes system. It just goes on fire. It's already happening. It's already here. And so that's why I'm getting these great catches, and everything's local. 22 minutes from home, Deethy. The garage door rolls down and I'm 22 minutes and I'm casting.
You're casting. How good's that? When are you going to catch a mulloway, mate? What's going on? I'm waiting for it.
Oh, well, you would bring that up. I know. Everyone's asking. I'm trying. I'm doing my best, but I reckon I hooked 2 the other day down at the Hollands Landing entrance. Rick was with me. And I said, mate, this ain't right. This is not a Bream. Oh, I've lost it. And on the sounder, big arches. And I'm saying, that's not carp. We know that it's not Bream. And he just come up and he said, I've targeted enough Jewies to know you've just dropped one, or, I've said to him, what do you reckon this is? He says, well, there's 3 or 4 of them. Other mates are saying the same. And others are going out to target them and they're getting 6. And I'm going, it's not right.
Come on, mate. How many days on the water have you had? 100 already?
101.
101.
That's all. Come down and train me.
Surely there's a Jewy in there.
Anyway. Look, if I was to, I've talked about this at length with mates. If I was to go and solely chase them, I reckon I'd go mad. I think it'd beat me. I've tried. I have put a bit of time and effort into it, but this is what Nev talked to me about. He goes, Brett, come on. What do you do? You consider yourself a good angler, I know you do. What do you do? You can get one. And I'm going, Nev, shut up.
He's like, come on, Brettles, you can do it.
He was. That's what he... Anyway, so all right. Watch this space is all I'll say.
All right, well, no pressure. Well, mate, it seems like you've had a pretty good time, mate. I've done a little bit of fishing. So just last weekend we had the local Hobie comp on the Georges River. So as I can't remember whether we talked about it last month, but I had my mate's son, Harvey. Actually, we spoke to Harvey. He was on a couple of months back. Had him on to fish the Georges, and mate, what a weekend! It was a really, really fun weekend with some good results.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and he got up on stage and he weighed in his catch. It was fantastic to see.
That's it. I mean, we went out on the first day and we basically went and fished the reef in the deeper areas because as guardian, you've got to stay within 50 metres of him. And so that was just the most simple thing to do and with a good chance of him catching fish. So I think we went out there and early on, I think my first fish was a kilo on a little Strike Pro Astro Blade.
That was a good fish too.
Yeah, which I was fishing because of I thought, you know what, I'm going to fish deep. We've got the blade challenge. I may as well just fish blades. So, 20 minutes or 30 minutes in, I had a kilo fish. So that was pretty great. And I thought it was bigger.
Yeah, right.
I thought it was 1.12, but it only went 103, I think, or 104.
What depth of water did you get that fish in?
Probably 4 metre mark.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
got more on that lure too? It dropped a few?
I got all my fish
lure?
on that. On that, or different couple of different colours. I think I lost 4 of them over the weekend.
Okay.
On the bottom, so because there's no 8 kilo there. That was just it's just 3 kilo. But anyway,
what was Harvey fishing?
Same deal. I had him on 6 pound leader, and mate, he got a flathead that would have gone high 60s, maybe 70, which was a really really good fish, and he was super happy to get that.
Probably not in a comp scenario.
Yeah, he was happy to get that.
Good on him.
Yeah, so we fished around for a while, and it was really interesting. I caught my 2 fish, and then that was it for a while. I think I had some little fish and this, that, the other. And I went, all right, let's go and change spots. So off we toddled, and I went over a patch of fish, and I went, oh, there's a bunch of mulloway there, like a whole heap of them. I said to him, because it's been quiet, I said, how about we throw some marky on it? You want to catch a mulloway? And he's like, yeah, okay. So he puts the marky down there, casts out and hooks up, and is like, Bream.
It's a of course it's a Bream.
And a reasonable one. It's like a 450, 500 grammer, so not too bad in the context of the comp.
That's grouse. Yeah.
And then same again. Another one, same spot.
Oh,
like
wow.
Bream. So he's got his two Bream on day one, which went, I think, 950 maybe. So, like I said, in context of the comp, that was okay. And in the same spot, I think I landed maybe a 27 tipper. Not a very big fish.
Yeah, but that put you in second spot day one.
Not quite.
Oh.
Yeah, later in the day, he caught a good trevally. He got another good flathead, and I was about to go over and help him handle that, and I felt my rod go rattle, 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 and this fish screamed off, and I'm like, you'll have to handle that. I'm going to get this. And got like a 750 or something like that. So
Still
another
fish.
solid fish. Might have been 700.
Yeah.
And that was Saturday, and that was good enough to put Harvey, I'm not sure where he was overnight, but I think first in the youth division, and it put me in second with, I think, 2.2 something.
That was a great, and you weighed in, I think, at the last weigh-in.
Yeah, I've had a live well problem. I've had a battery which I reckon is probably 10 years old, and I charged it, and it said it was charged, but it wasn't charged, and it just died about halfway through the session.
That cost you, yeah.
So then I didn't want to stand in line for 3/4 of an hour with potentially no water in there. I was like, I know I've got a good bag.
Yeah.
So I just stayed down there, kept feeding water, and then weighed in very late.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I was hoping, because I watched it, and I thought, go Deethy, is he going to pick up for the next day? And he might, this could be the one. He's back on top. Just to finish second, it's a pretty good thing. And let's be fair, it was grouse that you took Harvey under your wing, but it may have. It's cost you a little bit of exploratory. You're happy to have done it.
Yeah. It's not the same as going fishing on your own, but I think with the youth coming through, I don't think there's a better way to bring someone into a competition. Go and basically sit with them more or less, and enjoy the comp. And because they're only young, if they need a hand with something, you're there to help them out to get a hook out or whatever. And
let's be fair, you enjoyed doing it.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Such a good young fella. Now, Sunday morning came around. Sunday was a little bit colder.
Yeah.
So that was not great. And I didn't say the launch. So I really like the Georges River launch. Typically, it's very good. But the tide was low when we started. And basically, the tide was supposed to turn and come up. So I dropped my kayak maybe 10 metres out of the water in mud. Just mud. Anyway, the tide didn't come up. It actually went out further. So I had to drag my kayak over 20 metres of mud.
Oh, that's ugly.
So that
stuff.
was lovely.
How were your bay boots then?
Oh, my bay boots were wonderful. I love my bay boots so much. Scott Lovick, what a genius.
Yeah.
As this comes out, his ads should be in the front of it. They're so worth it, even whether you got a boat or a kayak.
Yeah, I see them all the time. Yep.
Anyway, Sunday was very different. Harvey got his fish relatively early, and he got one which probably would have gone, I guess it would have gone maybe 650. So it was a solid, maybe a fraction more. I think the fish weighed a little bit light where we were. So he got that relatively early and backed it up with another one before 8 o'clock. And that was before me. I didn't have any. Actually, I hadn't really even had a bite. Anyway, so I thought, oh, wow, he's going to grab his full bag. Like, we've got hours to get it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, in terms of Bream, that was the end of his session. But there's a couple of good things to come out of it. Now, we had one of our collective members, his name's Peter. I won't say his last name because I haven't spoken to him about it. But he messaged me leading into the comp and he said, hey, I've got a couple of combos that I don't use anymore. I'm not going to use anymore. You think Harvey would like them?
Gee, that's a nice effort. Oh, mate, great gesture.
Oh, so good, mate. And I caught up with him Friday, I think. And, mate, I was blown away. Like there was 2 Shimano Ultegra, so really nice reels in really good condition, spooled up. A little Shimano rod and another rod that I wasn't familiar with, but nice little combos. And Harvey got most of his fish on those combos.
Wow.
So I tied leaders on for him because he didn't know he was getting them. I tied some 6-pound leader on. And
fantastic.
Mate, so good. So good. And
yeah.
It was good to see. And I encourage people, if they're out there and they're not using gear, to just pass it on. And if you've got gear and you want to donate it, send it our way, and we'll start to spread it out.
Yeah, good call.
Such a cool gesture. And I really thank him for that. But he wasn't the only one, mate. One, Carl Dubois.
Carl.
Yeah, we went round to Carl's place and had a couple of pizzas in the night time.
I heard all about this. Yeah.
Yes, and anyway, he gave Harvey a pack of 3 blades, which was perfect.
Yeah, Carl painted blades, hey?
Carl painted blades. Now, Harvey, I know on Sunday, got his fish on Carl's blades.
Oh, it's grouse.
So Carl's blades, Peter's rods. How good's that?
Oh, it is this is what the whole thing about introducing young people into the comp arena is all about, you know. Hey. And even Chris's young fella, another Harvey.
Hey, you beat me to it. Harvey Purnell, first full bag on Sunday.
Yeah, how good was that?
Yeah.
And Mum, Tamika's in the... Oh, jeez, that's the whole family in there.
Tamika and Kale, the older brother, they were all out fishing together, or out fishing on the water. Certainly Harvey and Tamika together.
Yeah.
Mate, so good. Look, particularly impressed with Harvey Purnell to get his first full bag. Was pretty awesome. You'd have to be pretty stoked with that. And I know Chris was certainly very excited to see him bring back in a limit.
Yeah, I watched the weigh-in. It was fantastic.
Yeah. But, mate, it doesn't end there. So we fished the comp and we had a good time. And I actually thought Harvey Delforce was going to take out the juniors. But, mate, young James Kilpatrick, he came through on Sunday with a solid bag and just took it out right at the end there, which was great to see as well.
Yeah.
Good to see James, get a couple of decent fish and take out the division with a few people in it. Like Riley Whelan was there as well.
He's a gun angler too.
Oh, yeah. Riley's a champion. He won the Victorian comp,
Did
8K or something ridiculous. So
yeah, fantastic. Yep.
So yeah, even though there was 4 guys in that, and I think it was a great little competition, and really impressed to see those guys there.
Yeah. And James Senior would have been very proud of James Junior.
Yes, 100%, 100%. So yeah. Anyway, mate, Harvey Delphos, I think he finished in 42nd out of 80 odd. So pretty good effort for your first comp.
It's grouse, and the memories. What about that?
So
and the setting him up for future, whether he gets into comps again and takes it on, embraces it, whatever. Just the memories and that. I bet your mum and dad would have been really stoked.
Yeah. No, I think it was a great effort, and even to Craig, his dad who brought him down here. You got to get up in the 4s to get there, which is not my favourite.
No.
But yeah, and it was funny talking to Craig on the Monday. He's like, he said, I'm wrecked. That wasn't his word, but he's like, I'm wrecked. This is just, it just took a lot out of me. I was like, you didn't even fish.
Yeah, that's right. Spend the day on the water.
It's like, anyway. So mate,
good stuff.
What a great story. And last thing, probably on the Georges River to see, Simon Morley. I know he's put a lot of effort in. His interview, which I did today, was absolutely fantastic.
I can't wait.
Obviously, some hurricanes and some other stuff going on there. Great to see Simon on top. Really, really impressive. And
big
dominated.
Fish too, 1.64, I think, big Bream.
Other way around, 1.46.
1.46, sorry. Yeah.
You got the dyslexic Bream, big Bream.
Yeah, that's right. But I understand that is a big yellow for there.
Very good fish, and where he's fishing, they certainly have their chance to get you, to not be caught. So
okay.
So yeah, so that was very cool. Yeah, and probably one more thing I want to touch on with the competitions, and I might put some photos up. Obviously had my family down there, so both my girls, Jamie and Regan, and Jamie with her whole family in Bream Fishing Project shirts, which was awesome. And then Jamie sent through some of the photos of Kai, because he's been to a few events now in Queensland, and see him growing up via the comps, standing there with Bream and holding Bream. And so cool. Which for me personally, it was really nice to have my family there to come down and have a look. That was really nice. But not only that, Harvey Delphos, his schoolmates came down.
Is that right? Yeah.
How good's that? So
nice touch. Good stuff.
So, mate, very, very cool. Very cool competition. So there you go.
And just to top off your fishing of recent times, I've been getting phone calls about you being on the water in the boat.
Oh.
And at one point in the boat waiting for lunch to be brought back to you by a certain woman. Now, I want you to expand on this because it was a pretty good day out.
Yeah, so the little boat, there's been movements in the little boat. I've taken it out a few times. I had the motor done up. So the motor now goes, it gets up on the plane a little bit, I'd say slightly sluggish with 2 people in it. But once it gets going, it does pretty well. I think it tops out at sort of 42 k's an hour, which for a Bream boat's not fast, but for
plenty
what I've been used for, mate, pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So I took Valerie out on the hacking, and I went down there early because I was scared about backing the boat in with a ramp full of people, so I had to go early. Put the boat in, and I went and I caught a salmon maybe while I was waiting for her. They were busting up everywhere, but I couldn't hook them. Went out there and she got a decent trevally, like I don't know, maybe a high 40s.
Yeah, that's a big fish. That's a good fight.
Yeah. So that was running rings around the boat, and I was she's like, I don't think I can do it, and I was like, well, I'm not going to help you.
Poor Valerie. You got to help your partner, mate. You got to show some love.
No, she's got to catch the fish, and if we look, I don't care.
Yeah, good call. I agree.
And then she got a really nice flounder.
Oh, yummo.
We nearly took it home. We should have taken it home. It was a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Mate, it was plate size, and you don't normally get them that big.
And I tell you too, trevally sashimi, wow.
Oh, just trevally, mate. like not even shallow fried, just in the pan with a little bit of butter and how good.
Cool. Yeah, okay. Well, see, the boat's paying dividends already. Well done.
Yeah.
And you're enjoying it. Yeah, are you getting your head around the reversing and the loading? Do you drive the boat on the trailer or do you winch it up? How does that work?
I should drive it on, but I don't believe you got to back the car in too far to do it.
Yeah, fair call.
And it's only just a little boat. Like it's not hard to wind on.
Yeah.
So yeah, unless it's the right ramp, I won't be doing that.
Fair
So
call.
yeah, so I spent a bit of time on the Georges leading into the pre-fish ban.
Yep.
And mate, guess what I caught that you haven't caught?
Pufferfish?
No.
No. That I haven't caught.
Long and silver.
Hairtail?
No. It's just starting to
Long tom.
No, just starting to pop up in Gippsland Lakes again, and you need to catch one. And we talked.
Not a Mulloway, right? You've done it. Okay, I thought you wouldn't curse me with that. You got to rub it in.
I had to. Yeah, so I've got a couple of little Mulloway. Just I think I got a 45 and a 55, maybe 55, 65. I can't remember.
Okay.
But,
What'd you catch them on?
Fellas. What'd I get them on?
Yeah.
I think I got one on a baby vibe.
Yeah. Okay. Which means I will eventually run into one. If I fish in baby vibes and blades and in certain areas, I'm going to whack one. Well, that's how I got my first one. I have got one at 54 in the Straits at Holland's Landing. One only.
Yeah, okay.
And 4 million casts, like for Bream and perch and Flathead in that same area, I get one. So
I'm surprised. That surprises me. To be fair, I know we've kind of G'd you up a little bit, but we get them on blades here.
Look, it will happen. It's just that the explosion of fish lately, as far as Mulloway is concerned, the last 2 years, the numbers have gone up like exponentially, really. Sure. I mean, I'm sounding them now. I know when I see them.
Yeah.
And quite often I target them, and that's when it dawns on me just how hard they are actually to catch. You know, I know I'm dropping lures on their noses.
Yeah.
For absolutely nothing. And I'm told that's pretty much standard. That's normal. Just suck it up and get on with it.
But look, in terms of the boat, there are a few things going on. Like the idea was to get it running, use it for a little while. So I've used it for a few days. Still got to probably rewire it, make the lights work.
Oh yeah.
I've been talking to Lowrance. I'm hoping that we can come to an agreement and end up with a Lowrance Recon on it. So,
Cool.
The reason for this, I've done a bit of research, talked to a few people. A couple of cool things about this motor. One that I think, and this comes from a guy who hasn't used electric motors, but the pendant that you get has a joystick on it to steer with. That's got to be cool.
It's got to be cool.
It's got to be cool.
Yeah,
Mate,
yeah.
It also has the foot pedal is not wired. So one of the things I want to do with my boat is I don't mind trolling up a Dewey or a Mulloway.
Yep.
And I want to be able to sit down the back of the boat and control the motor, which is sitting on the front of the boat.
Yeah, gotcha.
So if I can sit in the seat on the back of the boat, move the foot pedal down the back, that's got to be a good thing.
Gotta be.
So
Okay.
So yeah, hopefully I can sort that out.
Yeah.
And then the next thing, and we'll go around the grounds in a little while, but one of the things I do want to talk about is the ABT. They are doing a Flathead comp in Lake Mac. So they've just published this today, all the details. So what it is the 2026 Shimano Flathead Australian Open. This one is going to run on the 31st of October through the 1st of November on Lake Macquarie. So my plan is my boat fits the bill. I can actually enter it. I don't need a live well because it's a catch release format.
Photo job. Yep.
I don't have the proper live well. So yeah, I think I'm going to enter that and have a crack for some Flathead, and then hopefully review the comp and we can have a bit of a talk about that. So.
Very good. Yeah, and just back up a little. When you say, just before you were saying you don't mind trolling for Deweys, do you get a flatty bycatch when you do that?
Occasionally. You get a bit of everything.
Okay.
So I'm using 100 mil atomic shiners in deep or double deep, so whatever the deepest one is.
Yep.
And I've used a bunch of different colours, so I don't know that colour makes all the difference. And it's basically just a twitch retrieve. Like it's not just a straight troll. You've got to twitch it. You've got to stop that lure. And what I've found is if you're trolling at a speed of, say, between 0.3 and a kilometre an hour, that's about the sweet spot, in my opinion. So it's really slow. It's quite slow, and you're twitching. So the lure is basically stopping as you're retrieving it. And I think it gives them the time to really eat it. If you do a straight troll, you will not get as many of them.
Yeah, so it's hands-on trolling.
It's hands-on, and you're holding the rod. The rod in the rod holder doesn't work as well, in my experience.
So is this, do you go with the current or against it, or it depends on the day?
I go both ways. Who knew? Anyway, so basically I've got a couple of points. I've got a couple of points where I basically lost my train of thought now. Anyway, I go around a point.
Stop it.
And I'll go against the current typically.
Right.
But then do a big arc, and the amount of times you'll hook a fish on that arc, you change the angle, and the fish seem to like that. And then I go with the current. And I just, in the kayak, I've done it mostly. I'm just trolling around a couple of points that I fish.
Yep.
And you never know where you're going to get them. And sometimes you go, that was a bream hit, and it's really a dewy. So
yeah, okay.
So, yeah.
There's been certain times when I'm pedaling from one spot to another in a lake scenario more often than not. So I'll cast out ahead of me and I'm pedaling at a fair rate, but I'm not trolling as such, but I'm catching up with my lure that's out to the side of me, and I'm winding up a bit of the slack, and then it just turns out on certain days you get to that sweet spot that you were talking about. There's an angle, there's a change of motion on that lure, or it's doing something that the fit, like they'd be following, there might be 3 or 4 following. I picture it in my mind.
Yeah.
And I get to a point where there was one day there, I was with Mitch Chapman, and I said, this is where I've been getting me hits. Oh, there's another one.
Yes.
And it was the only spot I could get them.
Yeah.
They wouldn't get them as I cast ahead of me and pulled it. It was, as I was about 5 Ks to get to where the boat ramp was, or 4 Ks, and it was always that spot. It was amazing. And so it's a real thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So so it was more a location or an angle of like when you were turning.
It was the angle. That's what I put it down to. Because the depths changed as I was going across the lake.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it was something. And I often talk about this, and have done recently too. As particularly with blading in deep water, you get to an angle of line. I know Paul Maloff's talked about this a fair bit. You can cast out as far as you like, and it's only on that certain angle of the retrieve. It's not always close to the axe. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's out. Like sometimes it's 32 degrees if you like, and sometimes it's 49 degrees, that angle of your line. And that's when you get the hits, and that's the only time.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a real weird, it's a wonderful thing. I don't know, if someone could put the recipe together, it'd be great. But
100%.
I reckon people relate to this.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so that's, in terms of the boat, that's what's going on. Hopefully I can sort out the Lowrance, otherwise I'll work out another plan. And then take it up to Lake Macquarie and see if we can catch a big flathead.
Oh, what a ripper. I look forward to that. That'll be good fun.
Yeah. So that's what's going on with the little boat for right now. All right, Let's jump in and do around the grounds. Tell people what's coming up within Bream competitions at the moment. So in this month, it's actually quite a quiet month. It feels like July is their gap month for a lot of people. Having said that, the ABT kicks it off on the 4th and 5th of July in Moreton Bay and Gold Coast with the Queensland Open. I did see Morgo say on his Tackle Fridays that he hasn't won it as a Queensland Open. He's won the previous iteration of it, but not a Queensland Open. So good luck to Morgo on that. Now, there is a kayak event brought out by the guys at WADA in Western Australia. So, but this one's a Hobie qualifier. So the 11th and 12th of July in Peel Inlet in Mandurah. So I think this was a cool round last year. So I'll be interested to see how that runs. The following weekend is in the Hobie Lake Macquarie. So that's the 18th and 19th of July. And best I can tell, that's it for the month. Everyone's having a month off. I looked up New South Wales tournaments. I looked up Vic Bream. I looked up East Coast Bream Series. Looked up Bream Masters South Australia, and I didn't identify any other comps. So that's it. So it'll be a quiet month in terms of Bream comps. So people can go out and practice. That's pretty cool.
And let's backtrack on the Vic Bream thing. Last month now, as this is released, we had the Malakuta Vic Bream, and it was dedicated towards Doug Fair.
Yeah.
There's a memorial, I think they've called it.
That's right.
The Doug Memorial Trophy, I think there is actually. And it was really fitting that Mario won it, because I know he's fished with Doug quite a lot over the years, over the journey. And so that was actually very touching to see that. Mario and young Mikey got up and won the comp. But yeah, just another mention back to Doug, because he's such a nice man, such a really beautiful person, a great angler, as well. But he's all that filming he did way back that I was unaware of, and
me too.
Yeah, and dealing with Steve Starling brought this up, and talked a lot about it too. And so it was a wonderful thing to see, and I saw that his son was there too, and had talked at length at the launch and up on the podium to the weigh-in. So, yeah, all a wonderful thing. It just is nice to see that the bream fishing, or just the fishing community in general, we are a family. It's there's a lot of people, but it's a closer family than you sort of realise. It's when I get contacted by people, I generally know the name, and I'm happy to talk. And when I reach out to others, I'm really pleased that they want to talk to me. Even it works both ways. But it's just my way of saying that Doug will always be remembered, and he's a really nice bloke. And he went through living hell. Let's face it.
He did, and he fought it for a long time. And now I'm told that they did. I'm told they spread his ashes out as well over the weekend.
Yep.
So that was very cool too.
Yeah, it was a great result. That so that I wanted to bring that up. That's important. We've got to celebrate. These people really do need celebrating. So go Doug.
Go Dougie, and go Mario and Mikey. Good to see them jump over the top. And I've got to tell you, I interviewed them 2-3 nights ago. Mate, the interview that they gave for that round was no holes barred. They gave everything up. They just shared. And I can't be more grateful for what they shared in that episode. So, and both of the guys, like Mikey has, we've seen him now for a couple of years, or at least I have, speaks very well and is quite a well-rounded young angler. It's great to see him. Yeah.
And not only that too, Deethy, he's got a great mentor in Dad, but, Mario, he's done a lot of fishing. He really has put in a mountain of hard yards. He travels a lot. He gets, and he really knows how to fish. He's very adaptable. Like I've seen him in the Straits. He can master the Straits better than most.
Yes.
If not all of us. And it's a tough fishery.
Yeah.
And he is one that has adapted and changed up and always looking to expand on that. And it's opened my eyes. I remember there was one day, I reckon it was about 5 or 6 years ago, I whacked a whole heap of bream in there. I got like 50 odd bream. And I had a big day. And it was coming off the back of 2 really bad days in the Straits. And Mario came down from the Seacombe end. I was at Hollands, and he came down, and I said, Mario, how you going? And I'm thinking in the back of my head, he wouldn't have caught as many as me. I reckon I'm going to... And straight up he said, Brett, we've had a wonderful day. We've caught about 70 bream, and we got them to 47 centimetres. I just went, you ripper, mate. No. He said, how'd you go? I said, not bad.
not bad. Yeah, thanks, Mike.
That threw me. I thought, this bloke, he really knows how to work the Straits, And then he just tootled off, and he said, see you, mate. I said, no worries, Mario. And I'd caught a lot of fish in the 40s, and nearly all of them over 40. I had a really big day.
Yeah, right.
And then when he said he got the... that put me in my spot. I loved it.
Yep.
So, go Mario.
Well, go Mario, mate. And probably one of the best things actually about his interview is we had the Vic Bream and what have you is the team names. I actually had to interview the masturbators and then that was followed up by Fat Jesus.
Fat Jesus. Did you explain more? Oh, that's a fat one. Jesus, is that how it's come about?
No, actually, I'm not going to explain it because Mario did. So people have to wait for that episode, which,
good call.
Like a lot of the shows, the Vic Bream stuff will be coming out soon. But yeah, so that'll be a little bit down the track, but well worth waiting for. So, yeah.
Great stuff.
Mate, one more thing. So I just want to expand a little bit on the collective and what's been going on. In the last month, I think we had a Zoom in the middle of the month with the Blades Challenge. I've had great success on, I think, a little-known blade, which is the Strike Pro Astro blade, which is the one, we spoke about it before, with a little clear bit in the middle and a rattle. Since I threw that on, I've caught some cracking fish, including that kilo fish in the Hobie comp. And I think that's worth bringing up because I'd kind of stopped. I went to Baby Vibes, which, as we know, fantastic. And going back to blades has been an eye-opener and made me pull out all my old blades. They all still work. So.
Yeah. How old is that actual lure? When was that first released?
Only a few years ago, maybe 3-4 years ago, I think.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with it, that's all. I'm totally not familiar with it. Yeah. I mean, I know I'm all over the cyber vibe, what they brought out many moons ago, 15 years ago, more. So, but this is I'll be checking it out.
Yeah, and I think it's the only, and I might be corrected on this, it's the only blade that I'm aware of that has a rattle in it.
Yeah.
So.
And just quickly to sum up on the vibes too, Hurricane have got some very exciting news. Naughty has announced only in the last couple of weeks that his whole range of Sting 37s and the Vibes and a new blade too, a new size. I think it's 42 mil, not 37.
Yeah, different shape, I think.
Different, and they're all going to be printed in a pattern colour. Like this is next level. This is going to be very exciting. I've seen the prototypes. I've seen some of the finishes, and I won't say too much more now, but I'll get back on this another time, probably next month actually.
Yeah.
I think they're a ways off yet to be released, but they're going to be printed like on finishes it's next level, not like you've seen before. So
yeah,
exciting stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And mate, in the last month since we evolved into the lure fishing project, we've had a bunch of new members, both in the Vault, so that's the listen only part of the subscription area, which means anyone that wants the content but doesn't really want to be involved in the community, which is obviously up to them. They can still access the extra content, excluding the Zooms, and go from there. And then in the Vault, in the collective itself, a couple more people on there, and we've had Big Bream. When this comes out, there will be 2 of the Big Bream series releases. With Jason Meach, and then I'm not going to tell you who the other one is because I haven't worked it out.
Good.
There'll definitely be one before this comes out, as well as an extended interview with Cisco, and I've done a COD interview, so that's coming up in the next week.
Oh, lovely. Okay, look forward to that.
Yeah, so there you have it, mate. I think that pretty much wraps up the monthly report, unless there's anything that we've missed on your end.
Oh, I think I've covered off on everything I wanted to there. Yeah, no, I'm going pretty good. No, I'm happy with all that.
Very, very good. All right, mate. Look, June was a cracking month. I had a lot of good times in June. I think July is going to be just as good. I think some of the winter fishing is some of the best bream fishing in particular that we have. And then, we'll wait and see where the boat's up to. Maybe I'll get those lights working. That'd be pretty cool.
Well, not only have I got winter down in here in Gippy, but I've also got El Nino, and gee, I love that. Those two things put together, you watch, wait and see. My figures and my diary is going to be updated. I'll be doing a lot of fishing. I've already fished, as I said, 101 days this year. I still can't get my head around that.
Wow.
So, it's exciting times. It's going to be I hope fantastic. I'm sure it will be.
Are you fishing tomorrow?
I got a day off tomorrow. No. Mummy's told me. She said, you need to get firewood sorted. I've got to be chopping. Yeah, I've got to be got to keep Mummy's bottom warm.
That's right.
That's right. Mate, that's
Everyone wants a hot bottom.
So that's my mission tomorrow.
Fair enough. All right, mate. Well, look, thank you so much for jumping on again. It's been another great month, and, mate, I look forward to seeing what happens in the next month.
Hey, Deethy, thanks for having me on. It's because of you I get this voice. So once again, mate, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Brett.
Thanks for listening to the Lure Fishing Project. For extra episodes, the Big Bream series and more, join us at the Lure Fishing Project Collective. We'll catch you next time.